All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to John Ross. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A huge play there right off the bat. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, here's Rudolph. Steps away to his left. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Run for it with Bell. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. From the gun, here's Rudolph. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And this defense holds on the night's opening drive. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pick up there of 20 yards. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. They'll run it with Bell. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now it's Rudolph. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 9.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
No, check.
try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. And that is incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it's 3rd and 5.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you've got to make that throw, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be complete.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return will stop right around the 25.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll set up a throw. Eluding the pressure right. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Fournette. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
They might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
This is Bell. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph going deep here for Bryant. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Eric Ebron, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 14-10. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Andrew Billings able to collapse the pocket and drop it for a loss of a yard. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And this one is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a play fake here on first down. Forced out to his left. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now a first down carry by Bell. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Rudolph goes underneath for Bell. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Rudolph now on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there. First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A gain of 3, second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Pushing his way through, and he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They give him a gain of 38.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Buying time to his left. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 17-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Returning it, John Ross. Oh, eluding the tackle. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he whips that one incomplete there. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them. And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this 1st half. It's 1st and 10. And some room to run now. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Rudolph on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the 1st half. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the 2nd half to play.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Green 39! Green 39!
And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough.
And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Rudolph. Being chased out left. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Detroit! Detroit!
Rudolph on third down. This is Bell on the dump-off. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Back to throw. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On second down, it's Bell. Bell a first down and then some. And all the way down to the 5. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including break.
Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Eric Ebron with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. And he puts it through. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Looking to throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Steps away to his left. Room to run past midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. He'll drop to throw. And Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw here. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Jamal Williams. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Detroit!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
He'll buy some time right. Stays on his feet. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will tie us at 24. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. Now Ross to return.
Well, someone wasn't very happy about that game being tied up. They came right back at him with a big-time return. They want to get back out in front as fast as possible.
And now out come the Steelers. They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. As we come up here on 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. And the tackle there will go to Ryan Anderson.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, here's Rudolph. Eluding the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this
56.
offense did its homework,
56.
didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back, and they did a great.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. In a tie game, fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. The give is to Bell. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Rudolph off play action. He completes it to Bryant. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
That one goes for 36 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, here's Rudolph. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
A very solid gain of 27. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Forced out to his left, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Rudolph, he's going to let it fly. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Trying to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Rudolph. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Here's Rudolph. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule